The talk show is Find Your Own Voice, led from within. With me today is Carol Ann. Carol Ann, you chose this topic, make the move, be a game changer. Could you please, how does this topic solve our audience? You were talking about the pain on your game, on your challenge. And I was watching it this morning. You were talking about asking us to think about how we solve the pain to our audience, who exactly is our audience, and how do we solve the pain. So what's this topic? Please explain to our audience why you chose it.
Why I chose it. Yeah, when I saw these words, make the move, be a game changer, it just brought to mind the situation I feel I'm in at the moment. And it's something I've been sort of thinking about for a few months now. It's like I feel like I'm in a situation where things are constantly repeating themselves. And I'm hearing the same stories from people that I talk with, friends, and that we work together. And a part of me is going, if something doesn't change, then nothing's going to change. And I'm getting a bit tired of these conversations happening. We all want to make more money. We all want more clients. And yet we seem to be on this treadmill of not getting there. And I suddenly thought, I have to do something to make this change. It's no good hanging around and waiting for everyone else to. I have to. So I have to start making different moves, taking different actions, so that I can then be the game changer and change things, lead the way. And I think, and that's it. It's for me, that's what this topic is about. And so I thought, great to explore it and look at it from different angles. But yeah, that's what's here for me at the moment.
I actually love this topic, Carol Ann, because like what you're saying, that sometimes people feel like they're in a treadmill and they're not moving the way they're not where they would like themselves to be. And the only way to actually do that, to get to where you need to be, you have to take action. And if you feel that you're on that treadmill where you are in one place, the only way for you is to take action and do the things that you want to do, and also be willing to do the work. And time is very, very important to actually make some time. You have time to actually create the things that you want to do. And we don't just want to survive. Some people, they are living just to survive, but we don't want to be in that place where being a game changer, it means that you have to take necessary steps. You have to, we had this conversation, I'm not sure whether it was Wednesday, where we talk about time, how, yes, Amanda was saying there are times where her friends will go out, and sometimes she has to miss those times of going out, enjoying herself, by giving herself time to actually get on with work. And I think being a game changer also, it requires a good mindset, and it requires you to look at the habits. What is stopping you to get to where you need to be? Because sometimes it could be the habits that we have picked up from our childhood, or it could be the things that were said to us that we believe that we are not enough. So you have to work through all those things and make a move. Not talk about it, make a move. Talking, it does not get you anywhere. There are some people that when you meet them today, they'll be talking about wanting to do something. You meet them next year, they're still talking about it. So make a move. Making a move, it means Even if I fall, I'm willing to get up and just do things and believe in myself and believe in the things where I need to be, and also find the right people to help you get there. Find the right people.
It is about finding the right people, but how do you know they're the right people? That's also a key thing as well. And yes, we need to keep picking ourselves up. We need to believe in ourselves. You need to have that goal, and just sitting around isn't going to make it happen. You need a certain amount of time to think about something, to percolate the idea. Yes, you need to talk about it, because in talking it through with other people, that's where opportunities can then arise. But you then need to start taking action on that. And actually, a game changer will actually look for and see things that others don't. They actually find a different way of doing something. They want to actually shake up the status quo. It's like they're not happy just to keep plodding on with the same thing. And what you do need to do, yes, is to perfect your craft. Take steps to improve yourself. Read daily, practice what you've learned, but also learn something new. Move differently. Take up something that you thought you couldn't do. Because by doing that, you actually change the pathways in the brain. You actually open up possibility that wasn't there before, and helps you to then start thinking differently. But you do need to be relentless in your pursuit to make a difference. Because very often what the change that you want to make is because you want to make a difference. And very often they want to make a difference in other people's lives. Well, if you don't change what you constantly keep saying, if you don't look for something else, some other way of doing it, you're not going to make that difference. And if you certainly don't take action on your thoughts and your ideas, nothing will change. And it's recognizing what holds you back, because that's just fear. It could be fear of failure. It can also be fear of success. And I know that that's held me back in some areas, because it's like I've recognized if I succeed, what then? It's like you go into a whole new world. And it's the same with it's happened with my retreat, my writing retreat that I finally did. It ran after quite a few years of planning, keep having to reschedule the dates, and then having to find a new venue. It finally ran. But I recognized that there was that fear of having, if I ran it, what would that open up to? I had a knowing that something greater was going to happen afterwards. And since I've run that retreat, it's like there's a ripple effect happening. There's a conversation happening, and things are starting to take off in a different way. So recognize the fears, whether it's a fear of failure or whether it's a fear of success, or whether there's a belief that you're up to the job. And actually, if you didn't have that drive in you, then you wouldn't be up to it. The fact you have the drive in you, there's something nudging you. The universe is saying, you can do this. So you then need to look at what part of you is going, no, 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 no. I don't believe I can. And do something about it. Don't just sit in that, I can't do this, I can't do this. What is it that says you can't do it? Who is it that's saying you can't do it? Is it actually you? Is it actually the truth? Who knows? But that's something that you can work on. And with support with other people, that's what you can help yourself to move forward out of those doubts, shift those beliefs. And as you were saying, Namsa, it's very much about your mindset. You need to, again, change your mindset.
Yeah, that is so true, Carol. And I like it when you say finding the right people as well. And how do you know they're the right people to work with you? I think it's very, very important to find a good coach. If you, whatever the journey you want to take, the path that you want to take, it's very, very important to find the right coach. And also, don't let people affirm what you can't do, whether your dreams are too small or too big. You can ask for help for people to direct you to the right direction and stay focused. I was talking to my sister today. Her son just finished uni, and instead of him looking for work for what he has studied, now they have planned that he needs to go and study something else. I'm like, no. He needs to stay focused. And I said to my sister, he needs to stay focused. He has worked really, really hard. He's a very, very clever boy. So he needs to stay focused, find a job based on what he has studied. And my sister is like, it's going to be hard for him to find a job. I was like, no, I believe that wherever he lives in Botswana, and I believe that wherever he is, there is a job for him there. It might be hard for other people, but it might not be hard for him. He just needs to stay focused. And that's what I believe with myself. When I'm actually do things, I never look at things that is hard to do this. I always find support. As long as I have support and people around me that can support me, am I going to always find the right people? No, I'm not. But does it mean that I have to give up? No, I don't have to give up. So you just have to I'm glad that you chose this topic, Carol Ann, because if someone is watching and I was updating my business plan last week, and I looked at my business plan and I was like, I come from a very long journey to be where I am with my mindset. And I'm like, the business plan and this one is completely different. But I was glad that I took that journey of starting my own business and doing the things that I want to do. Has it been easy? No, it hasn't been easy. I have had friends texting me at 2 a.m., waking me up, and I'm like, is everything okay? And then I look at message and they're telling me what is not right on my website. And I'm like, let me go to sleep, speak to me tomorrow. And then I wake up and I'm like, actually, I go and read my website. And I'm like, if you go and look at my website, the website is written very, very clear. And all that, it was because of people criticizing me. And when they criticizing me, they were criticizing me based on actually how does the website look. And when they criticize me, it would inspire me to actually change my content. So I even changed my content, and when I change it completely, and that's when I got Lisa contacting me from New York and saying, Noms, I love your website. We like to train you to be a matchmaker if you want to. It's well written and it's very clear. And it was critiques that helped me. So those who don't like critiques, I love them so much because they help me become the person that I want to become. When somebody criticizes me, I actually sit down and ask, why did they criticize me? What made them actually want to send me this comment? And I was just typing on Google, like, things like whatever they've said, I'll start working on it and I'll find something positive to use it for my business. So that's what I do. And because I know what I want to do, what I want to do is to serve people. And serving, it means I'm going to have to go through a rough path. I'm going to have to go through a joy path. I'm going to have to go through so many things in life that life will bring to me, and I'm okay with it. So if you're watching and you want to be a changer, you have to be okay with everything. Not just be okay with success. Some people are okay just receiving the success, and some people can't even celebrate themselves. There are little things that they've done. So I'm okay with celebrating myself, and I'm okay to actually becoming the person that I want to become, whatever it takes. I'm okay with that. And Carol, Annie, you actually, when you said how do we know to find the right people? We're never gonna know how we're gonna find the right people. We're just gonna have to go with the flow. And when you joined Gossip Talk Shows, did you know that Gossip Talk Show was right for you? No, you didn't know, but some people left. But you're still here. And if you look back, the people that have left, do we know where we're going? I think we know the ending, but we don't know the path. What's in store for us? We have no idea.
Oh, I love you asked me, was it right for me? Did I know? I knew it was right for me. Because what spoke to me was your commitment and your determination. And it was something I felt within you, as well as hearing your words, that you will succeed at whatever it takes. And I could feel that. And so I work very much on a feeling, how I, not just what I hear from people, but it's a feeling. And so I knew this was right for me. How long I would be with you, I had no idea. And again, we don't know how long it's going to be. It might have been only a year was right for me and for you. As it's turned out, it's been all of this time, and it's still right for me. And yes, you don't know if somebody's going to be right for you, but you have to be willing to listen to your inner guidance and trust your inner guidance. Because some people will turn out and you think, oh God, well, that was a waste of time. They were wrong for me. They weren't right. Well, actually, rather than making it wrong, say, well, what was it that I have now learned? That actually, yes, they were the right person because I've now learned this. And you put a different spin on it. And for me, there is no waste of time. There is no wrong person. There's people that I've met along my journey. They've been with me for a short time and we've had a great time together. We've learned a lot. We've created some things, and then all of a sudden it stopped. And it's like, whoa, what happened there? Wasn't meant to go any further. We've enjoyed the time together. We've created some amazing processes, or we've shifted and changed things within ourselves and learned. And that was as far as it was meant to go. Was it a wrong connection? No, because I've learned from that. And but you do have to trust your inner guidance. And how can you do that? Well, that's a great question, because some people go, oh, I don't know. That is, for me, this has been a lesson. Trust and patience, I realize, are my lifelong lessons. And I'm still having to learn patience. Even the other day, I was told, you need patience. And I'm going, what? How much more patience do I need? I'm pretty patient. I'm more patient than I used to be, but there's still and you just have to go, okay, accept what's here and go, if that's what I'm being shown, then how can I find more patience? How can I be more patient? Listen to the lessons, listen to what's here, and be okay with success or failure. I love what you were saying about embracing it, because that's where you learn. From the failure, it's just feedback. It doesn't mean that you're a failure, and that's what you have to catch yourself with. It's a great distinction that actually Landmark talk about. You aren't a failure. All that's happened is you have failed to achieve what you set out to do. But we collapse it inward and go, oh, I'm a failure. And we put that coat on and we walk around, I'm a failure. Well, guess what? You will stay a failure. You will not be able to succeed and move forward by having that coat on. Take that coat off. Recognize the truth. It's not you that is a failure. All that's happened is you failed to achieve what you set out to do. There's a lesson there. There's some learning. And you can go, okay, this didn't work. If Edison hadn't carried on, if he, stopped at the first light bulb that didn't work, it was like, oh, I'm a failure. Would we have electric light bulbs? He kept going. He said, oh, well, that doesn't work. Oh, that's another one. Okay. And he just kept saying, oh, that's another no. That's another no. And just think, well, it gets me closer to the yes. Because eventually, if you show that you are persistent, you're relentless, and you are determined, the universe eventually just says, okay, I get it. You are, what's the word I'm looking for? It's gone. It's gone, the word's gone. But you mean what you say is what I'm after. That's what you say you're going to do. You're being true to your word. So the universe says, okay, here you go. And something shifts, and all of a sudden you get the result that you've been after. You don't know when, and you don't know how. And we just have to let go of keep saying, well, how is this going to happen? Trust the process. Trust that it will happen. And keep moving forward. Keep learning. And there's a lovely quote that I like. I read today. I've got a few quotes here, but one of them in particular by somebody called Shahen Shah. Sorry if I pronounce that incorrectly, but that's how I see it. The quote is, a team wins not because of senior or star players, but due to the game changers, because they do not wait for the chance to score. They create a chance to score. So it's about what you create. You create the opportunities. You create it so that, yes, you score that goal. You succeed. You have happen what you want to have happen. Might not be in the time frame that you thought or you wanted, but it will happen. It cannot not. I love that phrase. It cannot not. So yes, I did know that Cozy Talk Shows was right for me at that time. And,
it was Legacy Wealth the Talk.
Sorry,
it was Legacy Wealth the Talk. Yes. Remember, we started as Legacy Wealth the Talk, and come back, and I think we're broadcasting Same time at 1 o'clock, and then at 6 p.m. my friend said, "Oh, I need to get out of the talk show." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, you need to get out." And I was like, "Okay." And I remember I sat there, I was sitting down and I was like, did she just kicked us out? And I was like, oh my God. And I called her back and I was like, no, you have to leave. And she was like, what now? I was like, yeah, you have to leave because you have kicked everyone out. And me, I want to continue with the talk show. And after I left, and then after chatting to her, and I was like, what am I going to explain to everyone? I wanted to put the message in the group, like talk show is no longer going to be available. I was like, no, I can't do this. So I went and Googled my legal name, Ngosi. And Facebook actually suggested to talk show as my legal name. It was like I kept typing different names, like my daughter's, mine, and I came back with mine in Ngosi Talk Shows. And I went to GoDaddy and the domain was there. And I actually ranked Des. That's the good thing of having good coaches. And I ranked Des and I was like, I need you to change the branding legacy with the talk overnight. Can you do this? And he was like, yes, I can. So when I woke up in the morning, all the banners were changed and or everything. We were not on YouTube at the time. We were thinking of going on YouTube, but I'm glad we didn't. We didn't go on YouTube, but that's why things are happening for a reason. And overnight, and then in the following day, I was like sending a message explaining to you guys, no, we are now no longer Legacy Wealthy Talk, we are Ngosi Talk Shows. And everyone was like, why Ngosi Talk Shows? And I was like, because that's how it has to be, and that is my name. And Nomsa is my middle name, but Ngosi is my name. So I was like, yeah, it's gonna be like that. And Facebook didn't even have my name. I just typed my name, and Facebook suggested when I coming back like Ngosi Talk Shows. I was like, and then I went to GoDaddy, and GoDaddy, it gave me the same thing. I was like, the domain is available. And I was like, that's okay. But I was so broken. I was so broken. I have never been so low with my emotions in my life. I never showed you guys how broken I was. Because, when you love someone, when you make friends with people, you get closer to them and the relationship is created, and that relationship is created, memories are created. And I was so broken, but I just went, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead, and because the talk shows is just gonna go ahead, because it was my idea anyway of having a talk show. So I was like, we are going to go ahead. And while I was at it with Des, and I was like, can you create YouTube while you guys are at it? And YouTube was the thing we never really spoke about we wanted to create YouTube. And Sarah, she's very good, Des, secretary, and she was like, okay, I'll create everything. And by the time I woke up, everything was created, and it was up to me now to gain my strength. And I gained that strength, and I had to go on. But I didn't go on. I didn't pretend to you guys. I did explain my feelings, and I did explain that I'm happy to carry you through, and I'm still doing it. Whatever it takes, wherever I have to be, I will still carry you guys to be where we need to be. And if anyone is watching, I could have easily made an excuse and said, I've been let down, my friend has let me down. I could have made so many excuses, but at that moment I've realized that actually maybe it was meant to happen, because it pushed me to create the talk show properly. So, and that's why we are here today. And you were saying trust, Carol, and yes, I had to. Trusting your inner guidance is very, 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 very important. When I was broken, at that time when Legacy Wealth Talk were like stopped, And the only thing that I had was holding on to trust and holding on to God, and knowing with the path where I needed to be, and knowing that I just needed 3 speakers or 2 speakers, because the talk show is the panel. So I just needed 2 speakers or 3 speakers to walk with me. So, because that was the idea from the beginning. And I got you guys that were really honest and willing to walk with me. And some people, they walked away, and which was fine. And now I look at it as the blessings for me. And I look at it as the blessings because now I got to get to know you guys, and I got to know some speakers. And whenever I have problems, like yesterday, I was saying, looking at the watch time on YouTube, it says people watch for 5, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, or 10 minutes. And I was like, where's my time? I always watch 1 hour. Whenever I want to go back to the talk show, if I want to learn something or somebody has said something and I want to watch it, I was like, I always watch it for 1 hour, but my time is not recorded. Yeah, so game changing, back to the topic. It's not about taking action. When you take action, it's all about strength as well, recognizing your weaknesses and recognizing your strength. And when you fall, when you are broken, just find that one person. For me, the person that when I was broken, it was Des. He came through as an angel for me to actually help me to say, no, sir, I've got your back. He didn't even ask me any questions. What happened to Lagos with the talk? He was like, I got your back. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to make sure that everything is done. And everything was done really, really quickly with the branding. So it's all about recognizing your strength and recognizing who is there with you. For me, it was God. I knew that God was there, and I knew that I was never alone. So knowing, using your beliefs as well to get to where you need to go, and trusting, like what Carol Ann said, your inner guidance. I trusted my inner guidance, and I was so patient with everything. I try to have a meeting with people, and people will be trashing the talk show and trashing it and trashing it. And you know what? You know, when you are being guided, it's so much different. And I was so guided, and I was like, I just believe inside of me, there is something that tells me that this talk show is going to be something, and I believe in it.
Yeah, I felt that, and that belief, because actually in the beginning, you weren't very clear at all about what it was, what was expected of me, and how often, you know. And it was just, I remember thinking, I ain't got a clue what you want. So how is this going to happen now? What's going to happen now? Is it going to work? And how often do you really want me, you know, to sort of come in? And it was just a case of, I made a choice. I said, okay, I'll do twice a week.
Yeah, you actually made a choice, Carol Ann, and you
Yeah.
stick to that choice.
Yeah.
So I'll always forever respect you guys. Honestly, I'll always, that's why when somebody says negative things, I always go AY. I'm like, no way. No one will say negative things about my tribe. These guys are my family. Honestly, you guys are my family. And I've learned so much. So much every time everything that I do, I always look at where we've been, and I'm like, we've got to take action, and things are got to be done. And yeah, things got to be done, and we'll get there eventually.
Wherever there is.
Yeah, wherever there is.
There'll be another there. But it's lovely the way things have changed, because the way we started off with the talk show is completely different to how we're doing it now. And it was just allowing it to shift and change. And it is allowing change to happen. And I know that's what we were talking about on Friday.
Yeah.
Not holding on to, well, no, this is how we do it. This is how it's got to be done. It's like, well, no, the universe is saying we need to change.
Yeah.
And so it's embracing that nudge to change. And when you embrace that nudge to change, it'll either work or it won't. And you learn.
Yeah.
And you move forward. You know, is it Germany Kent says, Stop waiting for somebody to elevate your game. You are already equipped with everything you need to manifest your greatness. And so it's stop waiting around. And very often that's what is happening. And I know I caught myself over the last few years. I became aware that I was hanging around for something, for someone, and I don't know what. So I realized, oh, come on, wake up. There's no point hanging around.
Whack.
You've got to move. If you want to change the game that you're playing,
Yeah.
or you want the outcome to be different, you need to change the game that you're playing and look for something different. But for me, because when I left teaching and I started to train in educational kinesiology, neuro-linguistic programming, and other modalities, at that time, I left teaching and said, okay, I realized I needed to step out of teaching so that I could step back in and lead a new paradigm into education. It was just a phrase that I was saying and I believed, and I'm going, but I have no idea what. And now, from being a maths teacher, because I thought it was going to be better maths, I had to be better maths. that was my love, and that is still my love. But I'm now supporting people with their writing. I found a way of unlocking the writer within, of finding a joy of writing that I never used to have. It's getting more and more, but I'm enjoying a relationship with words that I never had before. For me, they were a nightmare. For me, they didn't cooperate. For me, they were just a pain in the neck. People would say something and I'd be going, I ain't got a clue what you're saying, but I couldn't speak up and explain. And so it was just like, I felt stupid. Now I'm quite happy to say, I don't understand that word. I'll go and look it up. I'll bring it to life. I'll look at the meaning. I'll look at synonyms. I'll look at antonyms and really get a feel of that word and go, and really just bring it to life and then go, wow, that's a nice word. And then I understand what somebody's saying. And through, especially the neuro-linguistic programming, NLP training, learning to question and get the answer that you're after. And it is about asking better questions. If you don't get an answer that you want or that actually you understand, ask better questions. And so that's what I've learned to do, and to be able to stand in that and be comfortable and ask those questions until I get the understanding that I need, or the communication is a dance rather than a fight. And so, I'm now unlocking the writer within. I'm helping people with their writing. And through that process, I have now started to see what that new paradigm could possibly be. And actually, it does have a knock-on to maths. All of a sudden, I made the connection the other year. It's like, oh my goodness. And I just need to keep going. I just need to persevere, because I kept thinking, no, this isn't, people won't understand this. They're not going to grab it because it's not the same that they know. And what I realized was I needed to educate people, re-educate people, give them the experience and let them understand there is a different way that we can connect with that writer within, that we all have that ability to write. We all have a story to tell, something to share with the world that will actually make a difference in other people's lives. And I have questioned it a lot over the last year. I've now got, well, it's more than a year now actually, because it was about July, August time last year. I was in a real dip of saying, why writing, Lord? Why? because is this really what I want to do? Is this really what I'm meant to be doing? But then I kept getting that message: trust the process, follow through with what you've been, I've been guided to do, because there's something beyond that I have no idea of at the moment. Until I make those steps, until I get to that point, will I then know what the rest of the journey is, or the next step is not necessarily the rest of the journey. It's the next phase, the next part of the journey is going to be. So I've learned to accept and surrender to the guidance and trust the process. And it was highlighted to me the other week. I might have mentioned it, I can't remember now, the other week, that I was driving and I needed to use a sat nav. I'm not one for sat navs. I'm somebody who likes to look at a map. I'll draw the map out. I've got a picture in my head. I know where I'm going, and I'm good. That's how I've always worked.
Yeah.
I have the biggest, great sat nav in my head. I've got a great sense of direction, and if I've got the picture in my head and I know where I'm going, I can get there. But I didn't have the picture in my head. I hadn't looked at the map. I had a sort of sense of where it might be that I'm going. And so my granddaughter got the sat nav working for me. I thought, okay, I need to use the sat nav. And what I realized was that I hated that journey to start with. It's like, oh God. But I realized that I was attempting to look at that, and I was then not driving. I wasn't focused, because all of a sudden I'd see people cutting in front of me, and I was like, wake up, girl, you're supposed to be driving, your focus is supposed to be on the road, not this. And I realized that my brain wasn't processing it quickly enough. And so therefore there's something for me in the guidance within my higher self that I'm not processing quickly enough to be able to be focused in the present here on what I'm doing. And therefore I need to look at that process and be comfortable with the sat nav, be comfortable with and be able to process, look at the sat nav, know what it's telling me, what it's showing me, and go with it. So that's something that I'm working on at the moment. But that lesson there was that really brought it home to me. That was a great lesson. And I was just grateful to have my granddaughter in the car to help me, because she knew the way sort of anyway. So she knew where we were and what we meant, which way we were meant to be going. That, so what directions are you being given by your higher self, whether it be spoken or whether it be visual, that you're not able to process quickly enough to keep you on track where you are, or to keep you in the moment? Or maybe you're having to ignore to be in the moment, and therefore maybe you take a wrong turn. It's just a thought. I love playing with metaphors. I just love playing with metaphors. So I will acknowledge that I haven't actually fully done that process yet around the sat nav. I will do that and test it out again and see what happens. But it is recognizing what we need to work on in ourselves so that we can step out from the rest of the crowd and not follow the crowd. Be yourself. Be comfortable being yourself, speaking out and being true to what it is that you're wanting to bring into the world. Just like you brought this I want to say this game show, this talk show.
Play the game.
Yes.
Yeah, play the game. Yeah. I like it, Carol Ann, when you say when you write, you connect with within. When you write something, it helps you connect with your within. And I know that I used to love writing a lot. Honestly, I used to writing a lot, love writing. And I don't know, I've become lazy, but I need to start writing things. And also I love it when you say follow through with what you said you're going to do, and allow that guidance to guide you through. And for me, when I say I'm going to do something, and also when you make a decision that you're going to do something, you've got to do it. You don't have to do it for the sake of doing it just because you've said to people you're going to do it. Do it for the right reasons. I went to one of the child minder that used to look after my daughter. She lost her father-in-law, and I used to see them in town. You know, when you see people in town with his son and they are having a coffee, you just go and talk to them. And one day I'm passing through, they're not there. And then I saw him the next day and with his mom now. And I was like, where is he? And he's like, he's gone. And I was like, gone where? And he says he died. And I was like, oh my God. So I feel that those memories have been taken away from me. So the reason why I'm sharing this is I said to him when he was grieving after the funeral, we went for the funeral and then we were all sitting and talking. And I said to him, when you feel like you want to have a chat, you can call me, but don't stay too long in that grieving moment. Otherwise, I'll come and whack your head to get out and do things that you said you're going to do. And I was like, you have to look at your father, because his dad is like somebody who get up and do things. So I was like, just get up, and if you can't do it, I'll walk you. Don't you worry. And the reason I'm sharing this is because there are some people that are going through tough times at this moment. Some people, it could be the news about your health, or you could be losing someone that you love, and that can hold you back, making a move and becoming a game changer for your life. So what you need to do is you need to remember the things, the good times that you have had in life. Not all the bad news come to crush us. And if it's actually a health problems, you can sit down and create a plan. How can you improve your health? Because anything, you can find healing in so many ways. You can find healing through meditation. You can find healing through prayer. You can find healing through so many things, as long as your mindset is in the right place, and then be a game changer to your life. Because what happens is we don't follow through things that we said we're going to do, and we make excuses. And for me, I am someone that does not like to make excuses. And when I go through this journey with my business, I have to find people that can support me. As long as I've got that person that knows what needs to be done, I'm good to go. I was doing something yesterday. I meant to do something yesterday. I go online and I had to email the guy, and I was like, you know what? I have been to the website where you asked me to go through. And don't be afraid if you don't know anything. Don't be afraid. There are some people that believe that they have to know everything. You don't have to know everything. Don't be afraid. I went to the website and I was like, I don't even have a clue what I'm supposed to be doing here. And then I come out and I say, email the guy, and I was like, there are these options that I've seen, and I'm not sure what am I supposed to be doing with these options. So could you please give me some guidance? And then he comes back to me, says, yes, you are right. There are two options, but let me know which options you want to go for so I can guide you through. So I was like, if I was somebody with pride and everything, I would just get on with it and say, I know all these things, just because we are afraid to say there's things that we don't know. If you don't know something, ask for help, ask for support. We are not meant to know everything. That's why there is a thing that is called learning. And the failure as well, Kero Anne she mentioned that failure is not a failure. We are learning something from that failure. I have had, if I didn't have a failed relationship, I would have stayed in that relationship thinking I was happy, but it deprived my happiness. So I've learned from that failed relationship, I've learned so many things about myself. I've learned so many things about how to accept people for who they are, because before I would just date a man and have some ideas in my head that I'm going to change them to be who I want them to become. But then that's not relationship. But there are some people who are still, even today, with the mindset that I had before that. They will meet someone, and then when you meet someone, you want to change them. No, you don't need to change anyone. So those are the things, the ideas that I've had. I know I've got girls that are in my club that can actually say, no, so I used to be that person where I'll meet a guy and I'll be looking like I'm a Christian. The guy is not a Christian. I'm thinking I'm going to drag them to church. I'm going to make them believe in God. I'm going to make them do things with me but that's not how it works. So for me, when I meet somebody, I'm like, I'm a child of God. What are you? So I pray. This is what I do. I pray. What do you do? And they're like, I don't believe in God. And I'm like, you know what? We have two different views in life. So you're not for me. But if I meet somebody that is not a Christian, but believes in that God is out there and they want me to be who I want to be, I don't mind. Because I know when God looks after me, God is going to look after that person. So those are the things that I used to be. But I've learned from my failures. Even with a business, there were times where I felt defeated. And what do you do, Carol Ann, when we feel defeated? What do? We stop everything, take a breathe, take a breathe and just sit on the sofa and do nothing for one day.
Yeah, as long as it's one day and it doesn't
Yeah,
go on
as long as
to
not
years.
2 days.
Yeah, and it's not goes on to years.
As
It's
long
giving
as
yourself
not 2
that time
days.
to breathe, isn't it?
Yeah.
And feel that defeat and go, okay, just be with it and not make it wrong. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not fight it. We tend to try and fight it. And that makes it worse. Then that's what extends it. You know, you have to stay. But certainly, yeah.
So, Carol, and before we leave, anyone who is watching now, and also, guys, if you are at Nkosi Talk Show's page, you remember to give Nkosi Talk Shows some stars. And we love to reach more people in our community. And by giving the stars, you're helping us to reach our goals. And also, Carol, and if anyone is watching right now and they don't know who you are and how they can find you, please tell our audience what do you do, and how they can find you.
I do. I think I've said some of what I do, and it's supporting women in actually becoming more productive with their writing by connecting them with their deeper innate ability to write. But more importantly, they reconnect with that joy of writing. They experience free-flowing writing. They experience a confidence about their ability to write that they had lost or maybe never even had. And by unlocking that writer within, they can then get their book written, get their story written, because you cannot publish what isn't written. And so that's what I support them through that by doing, I've got workshops, I've got online and in-person retreats that I run. And I've got a 6-month program that I'm going to be starting next year. Again, in February, there's an opportunity there to come onto the program and really connect with that inner writer and shift your writing and find that joy again, connect and take your writing to a whole different level. of fun, enjoyment, playfulness, that also your tone, your voice, your words get put out to the world, your story, your message. And that's what's important. And so therefore you can be the game changer, because a game changer is something that's a newly introduced element or factor that changes an existing situation or situation or activity in a significant way. So just think, maybe your book, your story could be that game changer for somebody. It could just change the trajectory of their life. You just don't know. And so as game changers, you have the ability to manage uncertainty and overcome obstacles. So what's stopping you from writing your book? That's what I can help you with. So you can become that game changer. And if you don't have the knowledge or experience, that's where you reach out. That's where you then ask for support. And you go out and get that knowledge and experience. And so if you want to experience being a game changer, writing your book, writing your story, changing the world in some way, let's have a conversation. And you can reach me on Facebook, Carol Ann Cooper. I'm also on LinkedIn as well, Carol Ann Cooper. So love to hear from you. Please get in touch and know that you can be that game changer. Maybe you've got that belief that you can't be a game changer. Maybe there's something I've just said that might just set you thinking. So you can be a game changer.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Carol Ann. And also create your own legacy. And when you become a game changer, you create your own legacy, how you want people to remember you, and impact and just serve the world. And God created us. We all have talent. And I get upset when I meet someone and they tell me that they have no talent. And I think we all, for me, what I believe that everyone has a talent somehow, somewhere, but we get, the problems gets in the way. And people telling us that we are not enough, it gets in the way because we start believe whatever people say about us, and we believe that to be true. But imagine if you were actually divorce everything that you've had and start the new you. And imagine going back to your inner child and asking your inner child to guide you through to what you would have become without the stress of being rejected, without the stress of being told you are not enough, without the stress of you talking you out of your blessings. And imagine what life could be. And that life, it comes with blessings. It might come with pain, it might come with challenges, but that is part of it. There is no such thing as, if we could succeed right now, maybe today things are different. People will be like, it's the overnight success. No, it cannot be. The people that you see win the X Factor, they win these shows on TV. They've been searching for a very long time to improve their lives. So that is life. So you just have to go for what you want. If you are somebody who wants to write a book, Carol Ann is here. Find your own voice. Lead from within by learning to write your own style, by conducting Carol Ann. Me, I'm a love harmonist. All I do is I harmonize love. Connect. You want connection, get in touch with me. And there are different coaches here at Ngozi Talk Shows. Just get in touch with at Ngozi Talk Shows. Tell us your pain. What are you going through? And we won't be able to solve the pain you have to give us that permission to actually show you how we created our framework to be where we are today. And for me, I can tell you that it has not been easy. But the only thing that has kept me going is knowing where I need to go, and knowing my want, my desires, and what I can tolerate. I can tolerate anything. You bring it, I'll fight it, and I'll climb the mountain. I'm not afraid to climb any mountain, no matter how big they are. Bring it on until I get to the other side. So God bless everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. And go to Ngozi Talk Show's page if you want to connect with us, or Hope Springs Eternal Introduction Agency page, or contact the coaches direct. If you can't, they don't reply, you get back to me. I'll connect you straight away with them. And let's just keep this finding business of finding our own voice and leading from within. Let's keep it going, not putting it on hold. Let's keep it going. God bless everyone.
Yes.